Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, my MIL is faking cancer once again and my partner believes her. Once again. My mom is trying to use my newborn for emotional support. Talk me down, y'all. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My MIL is faking cancer once again and my partner believes her. Once again. Hey everyone. Yep, my MIL faked cancer a few years ago because she needed the money because she got scammed. My partner got in a huge mess in that time trying to get the money to save her. Of course it ended up being a lie. So for context, these past months, even past weeks, she's been smoking, drinking like always, and recently joined the gym. Today, she told my partner she has cancer and that she's been through various chemotherapy sessions. Which are you having chemotherapy while heavy smoking and going to the gym? Of course you can be active. I'm not judging, but cancer runs in my family and I've seen how chemo kicks everyone in the butt and also your hair falls. My partner haven't told me yet because he knows I'm not a fan of hers, because well, it's self-explanatory. I caught my dad texting him and read some bites. That's how I found about it, some minutes ago. He's probably going to tell me tonight or tomorrow. How should I react? What should I say? Right now my heart is racing because I am mad because I can't believe she keeps manipulating him and I can't believe he still believes her to this day. My partner is in his last year of medicine. Yes, he's late on his studies because he never got the support from his parents/family. And my family helped him to get in track. She wants him to quit his studies to work and help her cover her medicine bills. Keep in mind she doesn't work, tbh how she survives. She hangs out with someone so much older I consider her sugar daddy, lol. Even though he's not rich, I know he gives her money to eat and she sleeps at his place all the time. So please help, I am quite out of my mind right now. What would you do? Have him insist to accompanying her to all oncologist appointments to actually go in to speak to them. Be a part of her treatment, and if that's not possible then financial support can't be either. I will tell him this. Thank you for your advice. My heart was racing 999,999 miles per hour. And also have him only offer to pay direct to the hospital, or wherever specifically the medical bills come from. Ask to meet with their medical team to discuss treatment and payments. When someone asks for money, ask for invoices and offer to speak to and pay vendors direct. This is the best answer. I'm thinking maybe medicine isn't the career for him. Ha! As cruel as it sounds, my exact question is how you as a med student and one of the best of your classes can't tell she's lying? If you insist on helping with payments, you must pay the hospital directly and attend an appointment with her doctor to make sure everything is above board and the money you spend cannot affect our home life or bills in any way. Hi loving partner, you will not fund a single thing until you attend hospital with her and you have real proof she has cancer. Until then I will not believe it, and if you quit school to support her then I'm quitting you. I'd think about pointing out the following things. He's in medicine himself, why wouldn't he be asking her who her doctors are and where she's having her chemotherapy treatment? Why wouldn't he offer to accompany her to treatment? As someone else said, paperwork. She needs financial help? He needs to see the bills from the medical offices/personnel. History. She's lied about this before. You are well within your rights to be skeptical. It has nothing to do with liking her, it has to do with her track record. Best of luck to you. Exactly my points. When he tells me, I'm going to tell him to ask for the paperwork. Even though he will see me as the villain, he needs to open his eyes. It's unreal. Tell her you'd love to accompany her to her next chemo. You can't imagine not being there for her. You'll keep son updated and together you will all get through this. Then ask your partner why she doesn't want your help. 'Cause we all know she'll backpedal faster than our politicians do. The last part lol. I think I will do that, even though I have NC with her do all the past and her being cruel with me. I will play nice and calm. Thank you for your advice. I'd be replying genuinely and accept it at face value. For now. Bear with me, that it's absolutely terrible news. Cancer can be so awful. Ask what support she might need over the coming months with her chemo, and what to expect with her treatment. I'd be gently getting him to make some genuine inquiries about her prognosis and treatment. You know, so you can both support her if it's genuine, I mean by making the occasional meal or whatever, simple stuff. If she is faking it, then it'll start becoming obvious over time. Suggest, as he's in his last year of medicine, so he might be an excellent person to come along with her to appointments, what an excellent support person he could be to help explain things to her and hold her hand. He will piece it together. If she's being dodgy again, she's refusing to take him to appointments, or talking about treatments and prognosis that don't match her current condition. Give him time. Allow him the honor of figuring it out himself. But in the meantime, your job is to support him with whatever supports he wants to give. But draw the line at financial resources, because of her history, unless you both spoke to her doctor etc. Avoid being too negative or seeming overly critical or suspicious as far as he's concerned. Also suggest some couples therapy. Having parent with cancer is tough. But also having a parent with fake cancer, a second time, is also tough. So getting him some supports around that so you can help support him through it is a good idea. Especially if, when the revelation hits that she's being dishonest, he needs some stable people around him. You could act surprised and say, wow, she's going through chemo and still finding the energy to go to gym? That's impressive. He's in medicine and keeps falling for this? Wow. My mom is trying to use my newborn for emotional support. I've talked about my mother in other subs. She's experienced her own birth/newborn trauma that she is attempting to project on me daily. So I'm here to vent. I don't want advice, but happy to hear about your own stories and what you did. Lately, my mom has been coming home from her job and complaining about how she had a bad day. Then she immediately sticks her hands out in my face and asks for my newborn, saying she wants to cuddle him because of her bad day. I shut this down immediately. She sulks, and then I feel so guilty/uncomfortable. My parents have emotionally depended on me/shut me down and made their emotions more important than mine for my entire life. I recently learned through therapy that I shut my emotions down and don't let myself feel big emotions because my mother has always made everything in my life about her, and my father encourages it. Some examples. I had a traumatic abortion when I was a teenager. My mom cried her eyes out and sulked for days because she had a teen pregnancy. Tried to make me keep the baby when I immediately said I didn't want to when I found out I was pregnant. I snapped at her after the 10th time, and my father told me off. I had a traumatic delivery of my current newborn. My mom kept talking about herself and what happened to her throughout the process of me getting diagnosed with PTSD. I almost died, whereas my mom had a clot in the shower. She was trying to compare her fear with the clot to me having a major hemorrhage. When I brought my newborn home, she cried whenever the baby cried. She acted like she was a new mom, and like she was super stressed. She got in my face, and when I told her to back off, she cried to my dad. My dad then told me to watch how I speak and that I need to be patient with mom because of her trauma. I was 4 days PPLOL. In the thick of sleep deprivation, hormonal changes, and birth trauma. I don't want anyone to emotionally depend on my child. I don't want anyone to put expectations on him or do what they've done to me. Even though I've had and am still having therapy, and I know what they've done to me is wrong, I still feel guilty every time I set a boundary or maintain one. My mom does other things too, like comes in my room without an invite. Leans on me for affection when I'm holding the baby. I have no personal space now with a new babe, so I don't need my mom taking even more of that away. always staring at me or baby, texting me in the middle of the night asking if I'm okay and *T every time she hears the baby cry. My dad also pops his head in when baby cries and says, "Do you need a break?" as if I'm not coping like my mom did. So today I told him the language he is using is intense and he needs to back off because I'm coping just fine and that it's normal for babies to cry. She judges my relationship. My husband and I are very blunt with each other, whereas my parents are sooks who tiptoe around big issues. I am not afraid to raise my voice or swear, and neither is my husband. She made a comment the other day about my husband and I shot back at her in a condescending tone. What would you like my husband to do? Grow weed and have friends whose houses are being raided just like you and dad did when we were babies? And that got her good. Also, WTF is wrong with people? If a baby is crying with their mother, what makes them think the baby will settle for them and not the actual mum? If you take a baby off mum when it's crying, it'll probably cry for you too and stress mum and baby out in the process. That's not a break for me personally. 'Cause I'll be sitting there, listening to my baby cry with someone who cannot settle them. Then when it's been 20 minutes, if baby not settling, they hand the baby back to mum all stressed even more. Like? Logic? They're both constantly acting like I need them, but I don't. Honestly, baby and I are just fine without their help. Mum is an anxious mess, and asks if every single thing he does is normal. E.g., he startles a lot in his sleep. Is that normal? Please refrain from telling me to move out. It's not an option currently. This is not my parents' house. We are living in a rental together. We moved here to help my parents out financially because my father was made redundant in my 3rd trimester. I'm just here to vent as I am a lonely first-time mom, and my husband is doing his best to protect me from my parents, but I don't want to whinge in his ear for the 5th time today, even though he'd listen and mess with me. It looks to me as though there are 4 adults living equally together in a rental. But 2 of those adults seem to want to treat one of those adults as though she's an incapable child and also want to sideline the other. I can relate to this. I had the nightmare of having to live with my so-and parents, and it was a nightmare. We picked up a way of letting them know in thought and word and deed that actions were not acceptable. The text in the middle of the night resonated with me. I would totally ignore it. When he persists, and when either of them open your door, you both tell them, "I've got this, knock next time." I'd remind them you're only there as a favor. They seem to forget you're kind of bailing them out right now. They don't get to dictate anything. That may sound unkind, but I think it's a good reminder. I did it. You don't get to patronize me. I'm bailing you out here and you need to hear my boundaries or this will not work. Lock your door or put a wedge under the door so no one can pop in. Put a sign on the door not to knock, ever. My MIL was a try to take my baby type. She would call my daughter her baby, and never listen to our boundaries, etc. It's hell. They wanted us to move in with them. I refused and am so happy I did looking back. My heart breaks for you. Seconding a lock on your door, you need a safe space where you don't have to stress about them popping in unexpectedly. Wow, your parents spoke that way to you when you were 4 days PP, and you're doing them a financial favor? Time to make them shaping up a condition of this living arrangement continuing. Is everything okay? I'm so glad you brought this up. When our bedroom door is closed, that is a sign that we do not want to be disturbed. Please try to help your wife understand that she should not be knocking on our door, opening our door, or talking through our door. That's not just in the middle of the night. That is any time. Exactly. If it was me, I'd be investing in a doorstopper to use so people couldn't come barging in whenever they feel like it. Do you have a good stroller? Long walks saved the scraps of postpartum sanity I had. Yep, my only issue is that we are peeking into a very hot summer where I live. Start locking the door. Also go for walks or just get out somewhere to get yourself and baby some space. Also sit them down and explain you love them and you're here to help them, but you're a grown adult and you need your space and you have boundaries that they need to respect because you're a fellow human being. This is not advice, more like a read on your situation and some TLC for you because I think you need it. The practicalities of your living situation are what they are, so I will only say, this is your home too. You're not the daughter living with parents, you're the adult with a family helping your parents out. It can be hard to feel that way in the shared living dynamic. I too had to support my mom for most of my adult life, and it can be a huge drain. Yes, they are your parents, but you are an adult in your own right, separate from them with your own family unit now. It's incredibly hard not to feel guilt when we do something that makes our loved ones feel bad. The knowledge of the trauma your mom suffered makes that times 1,000. But it shouldn't be a factor in your decisions. You're not doing something to your mom with your choices, you're doing something for your own family that best fits yours and low needs. Really try to take her history out of the thought process in the aftermath of any decision you make to lessen the guilt. You don't have to be harsh, just use the calm courage of your convictions that your choices for your little family are based on what you guys need. Separate and apart from taking mom and dad's emotional baggage into account. If she were a stranger or any other family member whose history you didn't know, you wouldn't think twice about the choices you're making. Therapy for mom is an excellent idea and sorely needed. Keep encouraging. But I dare say therapy for yourself would be the right way to go as well. Just to keep yourself on an even keel and give you the support you need. That weight can be huge. Trust me, I know. Best of luck. I just had a baby and my ex abandoned us in the very beginning of pregnancy due to the antics of his psycho mother, so I had no choice but to rely on mine postpartum. I hoped that a baby would make her change, oh dear heavens. I had to have a C-section I think was unnecessary, and that she bullied me into accepting that I hadn't slept or eaten for days in the hospital, no exaggeration, no sleep for 4 days, and told her I needed sleep and was hallucinating, and she let my dad and sister come and want to pass around the baby until 11 p.m. and her excuse was, "You could have slept with us there." When I got home and she was my support because I couldn't even sit up or stand up without help, she got even worse. I was 2 days PP, and like you, my parents decided to come at me about something I did to hurt their feelings. I told my dad when I was all high on surgery meds, "Still you stink," when he came in to see me and baby immediately after chain smoking. When we got home, they seriously decided to say that hurt his feelings? And complained that I acted upset when he wanted to hold the baby? It was insane. I suspected it's because I'm single, and so they feel like there's no challenge to forcing their way when it's just me in defense of me, but something changed in me when I held my son in my arms and it'd gaff anymore. I have a horrible history with my mom, who, like yours, also has always used me as her emotional crutch from the time I was a kid. With how she treated me postpartum, barely doing anything because she's lazy and offering to help by holding my baby, and whining and crying about her own feelings if I don't give her her way, I finally had just had enough, and I told her to her face I think she's crazy, she let me down, and that if she wants to have a relationship with my son she'll shape up and start listening to and respecting me. I suggested she find some kind of family counselor for us to go to, and I think she expects like every other time it will just blow over, but it won't, and I'm completely serious, so I might be having to make some massive changes soon. I moved back close to them for help when my relationship with the dad ended, and I honestly regret it. It's been traumatic. I thought becoming a mom might make me have more sympathy for her, but it hasn't. If anything, I look at my son and I can't imagine ever pulling the stuff she does on me on him, and I hope that if I ever did he wouldn't put up with it. It's sad to become a mom and realize you don't trust your own, but I encourage you to let go of the guilt and look out for your baby first and foremost. The way I see it is our moms had our whole lives to be the type of grandma we wanted around, and they failed at that. Why should we sacrifice what should be a precious stage in our lives to further let them unleash their psychosis on us? I'm done, hopefully you will be done too. If my mom decides to make any effort, great. If not, oh well. If I had a husband to back me up? Oh Lord have mercy, I would be unstoppable in how hard I put my foot down. Good luck, dear. It sounds like from your OP and your replies that you are doing the best you can in a grim situation. I was working 6 days a week and taking care of my dad years ago, and my go-to coping mechanism, other than sleep, was alone time, any alone time that I could get. I realize that you may not be able to do that, but at the least you should be able to be in your own bedroom without people barging in without invitation. Maybe having one sanctuary room will help you cope better while you are having to be in this situation? A room with a solid lock on the door that you can lock so you can have a safe space. I know putting a lock on my bedroom door at my dad's place was everything to me. Good luck, OP, and I commend you for making and enforcing boundaries. Talk me down, y'all. Hey everybody. So last post I asked about what to do if when Voldmom contacted me because I'm pregnant, but she just texted me because it's my birthday today. Here's the text. Happy birthday, sweet pea. Love you, miss you. First off, what am I, 12 years old? Sweet pea, please. I'm 37 flippin' years old woman. Secondly, I am so tempted to respond with this. Mom, I honestly don't know what you want from me at this point. It's been 3 years since you've seen me and 2 years since we've spoken. You've made it clear you loathe my husband and disapprove of my life, and you've caused your entire family to push me out of their lives. None of these things can be trivialized or ignored, so what is your goal in sending this text, other than to guilt me or stress me out? Bottom line, either make an effort to genuinely repair your relationship with me and my entire family or leave me the hell alone to be happy. I need the advice of you wonderful folks. This would be a really stupid idea, right? Talk me down, guys. Birthday girl is pissed. I hope you haven't sent it. You're giving her so much in your response. Mom, I honestly don't know what you want from me at this point. You think/care about what she wants. It's been 3 years since you've seen me and 2 years since we've spoken. You're still keeping track of your relationship with her. You've made it clear you loathe my husband and disapprove of my life, and you've caused your entire family to push me out of their lives. You have regrets about the effects of dropping her. None of these things can be trivialized or ignored, so what is your goal in sending this text, other than to guilt me or stress me out? She can still cause you guilt and stress. Bottom line, either make an effort to genuinely repair your relationship with me and my entire family. There's a way for her to get back into your life. Or leave me the hell alone to be happy. Why would she? You're still fulfilling her needs without any effort on her part. Delete it, do something nice for yourself, and move on with your life. Ugh, well, you vented your feelings and did share the message with us. Good. Now, delete her message. Sometimes the most powerful message is one that isn't sent. If you're NC, I would ignore it. Don't give her the reaction she's clearly fishing for. No reaction may very well be better than any reaction. I envision harsh words will be screenshotted and displayed for family members. All I did was wish her a happy birthday. What did I do to deserve this response? Is it worth sending in the long term? Perhaps a little less gratifying, but imagine her stewing over no response instead. Or you can be simple petty and just answer unsubscribe. I respectfully disagree with the majority. Release your chaos. Go scorched earth. Love the smell of napalm in the morning. Free the Kraken. Burn the witch. Forget proportionate responses, drop the atomic bomb. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, be a Sith. Call down sulfur and brimstone in such a way that your legend will be told for 1,000 years. Be the cause of her stroke. Internalizing this stuff causes cancer, do this for your own health. I am running out of metaphors. Do it for yourself. Do it for your fans, for your fellow Redditors, for underdogs everywhere. Win one for the Jipper. As a witch, we disclaim responsibility for that waste of oxygen, otherwise, agreed. I totally understand the impulse here. The system that works for me is multi-pronged. 1. I blocked my JN mom on email, social and cell. 2. Any communication that makes it through gets screened by my partner. This includes packages and presents for my kiddo. He is distant enough from her that the craziness doesn't spike anxiety or rage. Only if it is something that will bring a positive outcome do I read it. Otherwise, trash. 3. Remind myself that the only noises that a-holes make are farts. I don't need to talk to farts, it only stinks up my air. Hope this helps. This, right here, is the way. Silence is your best and most powerful response. IMHO. She's baiting you. Does a thoughtless few seconds of her typing really get to control you / throw off your peace / put your life in a tis DSP when preg and open up a whole can of BS / heartache / etc.? Ask yourself what you're trying to accomplish by responding. Do not respond. Here's the thing with a narcissistic parent: if you reply, you can cuss them up a storm and it will only mean more communication attempts because they think you want to talk to them. Say nothing and it'll hurt them more than replying with verbal abuse. Do nothing. Leave her in limbo. Then read the text out loud to a sympathetic friend using your most dramatic middle school acting skills. Laugh. Delete. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.